Welcome to Woodworker and Wife. We're Dan and Bethany Myers. We've been married for over 5 years and have 3 little girls. Are we marriage experts? Parenting experts? Life experts? Perfect in every way? Not even close. But we do happen to have a microphone, and more importantly, we want to share what God has done and is currently doing in our lives in order to encourage you.
Each week, we'll cover a topic related to faith, family, marriage, or business with the hope that our conversations will encourage you in your day-to-day life. This week, we're on episode 3, and we are so pumped for this episode because we're going to share how we first met and why we celebrate our anniversary in September. And I'm super excited because I'm a wife and I love talking about how we met. I feel like I love life too.
Yep.
I don't know. But it's just the best thing ever. So anyway.
Yep. And as a teaser, we got married in June. But why do we celebrate September so much? We're going to find out. Hey, I'm Dan. This is my wonderful wife, Bethany. And we are Woodworker and Wife. We're joined today with the beautiful Lucy, who's 2 months old now. If you have joined in on the last couple of episodes, she's been around with us too.
Yes, she has.
And for the time being, the other 2 girls are already in bed, but
woohoo!
Lucy's going to be our third co-host for a while.
Yeah, for this foreseeable future.
Yep. Anyway, so today we talk about how we first met.
That's right. And we're one of those super awesome modern couples. Yeah, we met online.
Yep. eHarmony.
Yes. Which I would highly recommend. We know a lot of couples who met on eHarmony and are now married.
Yep.
Both older couples and younger couples.
Mm-hmm.
But, so let's see here. I got on eHarmony.
You're saying,
Yeah.
I'm already going to interrupt you.
You're
Young
fine.
couples and older couples. A few years ago, we were leading a small group in our home.
Yes.
And of the 4 couples,
3 of them.
3 couples and 1 single guy,
Yes.
my friend James.
Yeah.
Only 1 couple did not meet online or on eHarmony.
Yes.
1 couple did, we did, and we convinced James to get on eHarmony.
Yep. And he met his wife.
And he met his wife on there, and they're now married and in the fostering process.
Yes, they are.
Yep. So exciting.
Yeah. It's highly recommend if you're just not running into someone, or I don't new to an area, I would say, or just you're ready. I know that I signed up for eHarmony because I was finally like, you know what, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready for this step in my life, but before that point, I was really not ready. And I really did not date, like, at all before then. Just because I was not at a point in my life where I felt like I was ready. So I didn't. Longer story for another day. So anyway, that first year after after real teaching, I got a bonus from my school for doing a super awesome job. And I bought a couch, and I paid for eHarmony for myself and my roommate because I was not going to do this alone. I was not going to go online and do all of this crazy stuff by myself. I was a little scared. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I got on there, I think a little bit before you did, because I think you were in the process of moving to Portage. And
I had just moved in.
Yeah, exactly. And so I went on, and you go through like a series of answering questions, and I remember the program being like, you're answering these too fast. Are you, you should probably slow down. And I was like, I know myself. I got this. And you like do all this stuff about yourself and how far away are you willing to look, and I forget what else there was.
It's like a
profile.
Yeah, psychological profile to match you up as best as possible, and
so you don't just meet everyone in your area.
No.
like on other sites. Because I did look at other sites, but eHarmony, like, they match you with people who are theoretically compatible, as opposed to like
Christian Mingle,
or
which is here's a list of single Christian women in the area.
Yes. Yeah. So, which is something I liked about eHarmony, is it wasn't just like, hey, here's everybody, but actually was like, hey, you might be compatible with this person. So I think I was on there for like 2 weeks. It was like mid-September or so. And when you see somebody who, like, they like message you with questions, I think, of some sort, like it's like this weird process where there's like questions.
It's like, hi, kind of like the Facebook poke in the beginning, and then you send
your like likes and dislikes, and then they send theirs, and then like you choose like from a list.
Yeah, you choose from a list of questions.
It's very scripted to like weed out people who you might not be compatible with, like on a really basic level, like moving in together before marriage, or faith, or goodness, tidiness level, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Like some simple things.
It's been a while.
That,
it's been 6 years since we've done it. So
yes. So anyway, you send those things back and forth, and that's like a series of 4 things, and then you finally get to the emailing phase where you're actually talking to this person. And we emailed for about a week. So we did those question thingies. That took a week. And then we emailed for a week. And that took... I remember copying and pasting those emails over.
Yeah, I've got a
76
copy and
pages.
pasted list somewhere.
76 pages.
Of emails to each other.
Before we even had actually met in person.
Or talked on the phone.
Yes. Which is what we did the week after that. And I don't remember what we necessarily emailed about. Maybe just about life.
Life, getting to know each other, family.
Yeah. And by then I had checked out your profile, obviously. And he had put on there, his first picture was him in a Habitat for Humanity, like, shirt or something. Or a name tag.
I was a crew leader with the Habitat for Humanity down in Monroe County, Indiana, which is where IU, Indiana University, is in Bloomington. Was there for 4 years and did some more stuff down there, even once I moved back up to Kalamazoo area. So she found a picture of me on there where I have my tool belt on and name tag. And
you had suspenders.
Yeah.
And I saw the Habitat for Humanity, and I went, oh, he volunteers? What? That's the best thing ever. And he's handy? Like, that was a byproduct. Like, I was like, first volunteer, second handy. Like, that's awesome. Besides the fact that you're a handsome man. But he did those 2 things. And for that to be his, like, first picture, and then, like, I read through his profile, and he had listed that, he was gluten-free, dairy-free.
And I stated in there that I also had ulcerative colitis because...
you were very upfront.
Well, if I can, I guess I'll back up for a second.
You're fine.
Because you're flying here.
I know. That's because I love sharing this story.
I know. So you had your bonus check. You bought a couch. You bought eHarmony for you and your roommate.
And we still have this couch.
We do. It's in storage now. And we've gotten the cushions refoamed.
Yes. Yeah, they have not lasted 5 years. The main couch did, though.
Yes.
Lots of couch stains.
But you did it for what, like 6 months? The 6-month plan? Yes,
because there was, like, no other shorter option. Like, it gave you, like, you can do it for this long, or this long. And I was like, I don't want it for 6 months, but I guess that's what I'll pay for.
And the nerd that I am,
he figured it out.
I figured out. I went to, like, Retail Me Not or different coupon sites to get a coupon code for, like, how can I make this the least expensive possible and the most economical, the most efficient.
Well, and
I found it for 1 month, which was like $50.
Yeah.
Which, if you look at the per month cost of eHarmony, $50 is too expensive on that level. I was like, you know what? If it's not going to work in a month, it's not going to work. I was maybe a little more impatient, but I was also moving up from Indiana for a job and had been doing like Christian Mingle and meeting other single women through church, and it was a big church I went to, and I was at a stage in life where I was out of graduate school, going toward a teaching career. I'm like, all right, I'm starting a career. I'm starting that point, and I want a family.
Yeah.
And so, like by winter, spring of that first year teaching in Indiana, that's what I pursued, was, finding the mate. And for me, it was,
finding the mate.
Finding the mate. I guess Beth has maybe a stronger faith in that area, because she was like, God's going to enter, God knows who I'm supposed to be with, and he's already planned that. And
I don't know if that was my thought process as much as I'm doing life and I don't want to complicate it right now. I'm not ready to be married, so why look? Even though that's what I had always wanted, was to be married, but I totally was not in the right spot.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But we both were once we were working and bringing an income.
Yeah, settled into, I'll call it adulthood. Mm-hmm. Adulting. We had managed to not master it, but at least get good at it.
Yeah.
Ish.
This someone I work with brought up the term today, DINK.
Familiar.
DINK, dual income, no kids.
Dual income, no kids.
So we were talking about housing, and she brought up, one of my dreams is to build small homes.
Yeah.
And she brought up, one potential demographic is dinks. From the millennial generation that are dual income, no kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
They don't need a huge house. Anyway.
Digress,
yeah. So I joined eHarmony in a way that was more, maybe not economical, but efficient for me.
Yes.
And, it worked out.
It did.
She said, we went through the process of sending questions and likes and dislikes and non-negotiables, and really got to know one another. And, she would tell you that she really found me handsome in that Habitat for Humanity garb.
Oh, yeah.
And let's just say that she's not allowed to get rid of her floral print shirt that she was wearing in her photo.
No.
Because I think I fell in love with you when I saw you in that picture. Not in a creepy way.
It's just moved up from...
It moved, yeah. But, I saw her in the picture, I'm like, I think she's going to be the one.
Yeah. That shirt has held up remarkably well.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wear it right now, postpartum issues. But, it's still around. It's a good shirt.
Mm-hmm.
It looks brand new.
Dudes, it's kind of like your favorite flannel shirt. You don't want to get rid of it.
Anyway, so we emailed 76 pages later. Dan emailed one last email, and it said, I was in church this morning, and the pastor was talking about being courageous.
So I'm being courageous. Would you like to talk on the phone?
Yeah. Or we can exchange our real emails, because we had only been emailing on eHarmony, and you were like, or we can just exchange real emails. And I was like, this is a test. And I'm nervous, and my nervousness says, just do the emails. But what I really do want to do is talk to him on the phone. So,
if I can be courageous, you can be courageous.
Exactly. So at this point, I am in my apartment by myself, reading this email on a Sunday night, and I got up and I ran around my table at least 5 times out of pure excitement / giddiness / totally terrified, because I hate talking on the phone, but taking a step in this direction, and just I ran at least 5 times around that table. Not a big table, but still, you just feel silly. That's just how much energy he had, I gotta let this all out somehow, and nobody was there. My roommate was gone, and so I couldn't be like, oh my gosh, this is happening. So we talked on the phone for a week. We talked 3 times that week. I think Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then we decided to meet the following weekend. maybe? Or did we talk Monday, Wednesday, decide to meet Saturday?
That might have been it.
Sounds better. And so we talked 3 times that week and then met on Saturday.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. So it's the third Saturday of September.
Yeah.
Is what it works out to be.
Yep.
So we ended up meeting at a local Bigby.
Yeah.
Local coffee shop. Still go to that location. That's my men's group is there.
Yeah, I was just there 2 weeks ago to meet with a friend. But at the time, so I was in Grand Rapids and Dan was living here in Portage. I came home because it was my parents' anniversary weekend, and so it kind of worked out well that I was going to be home anyway. And I was out with my mom and sisters shopping, and I was like, nope, I gotta go. It's my date. And I was, way early, like at least a half an hour solid.
Yeah,
and I was
you said you're 20 minutes early with
Yeah.
your Kindle, reading, drinking vanilla tea.
Yeah, because it was calming.
Because it's calming.
And I'd already gone to the bathroom. And yeah, so I was like all set. I was like, I got a position by the window so I could see when you were coming. So I could fake like I wasn't watching to see when you walked in the door. So I could pretend like I was chill, even though I was totally not. In that moment anyway.
You were nervous. I was nervous.
Super nervous. I mean, I wasn't totally terrified of you, A, because you were a teacher, so you had to have background checks in order to become a teacher.
But you still brought pepper spray with you.
Yeah, well, we were going for a walk on a path. Like, just because you're a teacher doesn't mean you're not a creeper. Like, there's a few of them out there in the world. So I did bring my pepper spray because we were going to go for a walk, and I don't know, just, you never know. So anyway, but my roommate Sarah had also done a background check on him. So I knew the school had run a background check, and she ran a background check also on Dan, just to make sure that he was all right and not a total, like, I don't know, had some crazy, like, things in his past.
And intentionally, it was hard to find me on Facebook.
Well, it's because there's like 1,000 Dan Myers
True.
on Facebook.
But you can find me right on LinkedIn.
Yes. Not that I went to look there. But anyway, so I showed up way, way too early, got a table, sat down, started reading, started sipping my tea in the hope that the vanilla would be like, yes, you will calm down and everything will be fine. And really, I didn't read anything. Mostly just looked out the window, and you were 5 minutes late.
Yep. Story of my life.
So. And you were wearing a gray polo with thin white stripes, khaki cargo pants, and both of these items were
shorts.
At least...
I don't wear
pants,
cargo pants.
Shorts.
That'd be creepy.
But anyway, both of these items were at least one size too big, and highlighter yellow tennis shoes.
Which is weird because the polo shirt was a medium. I remember that. It was an Eddie Bauer.
Well, I don't know. It was baggy.
Huh.
I don't know. That's just what I remember. And you had those dark rimmed glasses and a really nice beard, which has come and gone a few times in the years since.
Like twice. Maybe 3 times.
3 times? 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
I shave my beard as the Holy Spirit moves me.
I don't know what that means, but okay. Yeah, so I don't know. You take it from there. You walked in, you said hi,
Mm-hmm.
and went to get a cider.
Yep. Got a little tiny cider.
Yeah.
Like a kid size.
Yes.
Intentionally, because my colitis was flared up a little bit at the time, and too much sugar makes my mouth flare up too. And for those of you with Crohn's or colitis, you understand what I'm talking about. I won't go into it here, but we just sat down, we talked.
Yep. For what, like an hour?
Yeah, just about.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was, well, hey, it's a nice day. You want to go for a walk?
Yeah, which we had kind of talked about
Yeah.
ahead of time. And
Now, me being new to the area, I hadn't been to El Sabo yet, which there's hiking trails and mountain bike trails there, but
it's like out in the woods.
yeah, so it's not
You would not.
a suitable place to walk on a first date.
No.
I didn't really know that. I was new
Yes.
to town.
Thus the pepper spray.
Right.
So then I was like,
why don't we do celery flats?
Which was one of the other options you had mentioned previously. And I was like, yeah, celery flats. And, I was like, oh, we'll just walk down to the end and back. It's like up to the next park and back, which is, what, a mile or two? So not that long of a walk. I wore terrible shoes. I wore flats.
And
I had zero support.
And I'd already done a 12-mile
bike that day.
Bike ride on the road that morning.
Yep. And so we started. First, you couldn't find parking because there was a wedding. There was zero parking, so that took forever. And then we got out and walked. And so we were there at like 4-ish. And we walked all the way down to Kalamazoo.
Yep, to where it ends in Kalamazoo.
Yep, and then...
We actually stopped at the sign under 94 where it says like 142 miles to Detroit, 141 to Chicago.
Yeah, it's like a halfway point.
Got a picture of that.
Yeah.
And continued on to the Portage-Kalamazoo border.
Yep.
We're like, oh, time to turn around.
Yeah, and talked the whole time.
Yep.
And I mean, like, about everything. I remember talking about Christmas and...
Like family traditions, what we wanted in a family.
Oh, stomping on leaves.
Yep.
Because it was fall, and I said I love stomping on crunchy leaves in the fall.
So
it's like one of the best things ever.
I had to do that.
Well, you jumped off the path. It stepped on like a million just to demonstrate how awesome. And I think there were deer in the woods that day.
Probably.
And... I forget what else, but it's a long path. It's not like...
When all is said and done, it was about a 6 or 7 mile walk.
Something like that.
Yep.
It was long.
There and back.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and I mean, what do you do after you just, burned a lot of calories talking for 3 hours and going for a long walk? You gotta go get food.
Yes. Yep. Well, because at that point it was almost dinner. Yep. So we went back to Big B. To
Yep. We were going to get your car.
No.
And then we ended up just continuing on.
Yes. Yeah.
And drove up to West Main where the Chipotle is.
Yeah.
At the time there was one. Had you ever had Chipotle before?
No, that was the first time I'd ever gone. But I need to pause you for a second. Do you remember what I did in the car on the way to Chipotle? Oh, you don't remember?
Did you call your parents to let them know you were still alive?
Yes, I totally did. I was like, hey, just want to let you know. I'm still alive. We're going to go get dinner. KK. Because at that point, we had met at 3. It was 6.
Yep.
And so I didn't want to then go to dinner and then for them to be like, oh, OMG, where is she? What's going on? And so I called on the way there. Yeah. I made you go through the line at Chipotle first.
Yeah. Well, and I chose that restaurant because with my food allergies or diet restrictions, it was one of the few places I knew of at the time that I could eat at. Because I was new to, like I said, I was new to town. By the time we got married, we found other restaurants, and then once we did Whole30 and went on paleo, we've figured it out for sure.
Yeah.
For the most part, but yeah, we went to Chipotle, and we ended up staying
till 9:45.
Just about, and it was we were one of the last customers there. I think they were wanting to close.
Yeah.
They were cleaning up to close, and we're like, oh, we've been sitting in the same bar table for a couple hours.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so much talking.
Yeah.
So much talking.
Yeah. We really connected, though.
Yes. Yes, we did. Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, and then I drove you back to Big B where your car was, and
yep, said goodbye.
Said goodbye.
There was no touching.
Nope.
And that was that.
Mm-hmm.
I had to stop by Meijer on the way home.
You had to. I think I just went home.
No, I had to. I had to pick up some products.
Oh, that's right.
Some feminine hygiene products.
Yeah, you were starting some punctuation.
Woo. That's what you want to do on your first date.
Yeah. Let's go for a 7-mile walk.
Yeah, seriously.
But look at us now. Married.
Yeah, three
kids. Living with your parents.
We'll have to talk about that at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, it's crazy how that one day / whole 3 weeks ahead of that.
Mm-hmm. Really culminated to that, and then
yes,
within like a few days later, we did our second date. You had to come down during the week.
Yep, for sign language practice.
Yep.
And that was like a Wednesday, I
think so.
And
we met at a different Bigby this time.
Yeah. Yep. And then you came up to Grand Rapids. No, I was back that weekend. And we did something on Saturday. Did we go bowling?
We did. That was our third date.
And then we talked every day from then on out, I think, if we didn't see each other. So the following weekend, you came up to Grand Rapids twice. You came up on Saturday and on Sunday.
Yeah. Which I'm quite familiar with that. I don't remember.
No, because you came up on a Saturday and we did the corn maze and apples.
Yeah.
And goodness, this baby.
Getting distracted by Lucy.
Stay asleep, baby.
We're almost done.
So yeah, and then we did you came up twice.
Mm-hmm.
That was the day that you kissed me for the first time. I'm like staring at him like, I don't know if I want to say it.
Well, yeah, so it would have been like the 4th or 5th date then. I think we built the fort in my living room.
Oh, yeah.
And played Mario Kart and watched some movies.
That was a good date.
And that was the first time we held hands.
Yup.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
So we took it slow, not in a prudish way, just in a modest, respectful way. I mean, I had dating experience.
Yes.
And many girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, and I was your first.
Yeah, everything, really.
Yep. So, I just had this real sense that she was the one that I was going to marry and build a life with, and I needed to not push her. I needed to respect her boundaries.
Yep. Well, and we had conversations that I just didn't even realize were that serious. And then I'd go to talk to somebody else about it and be like, what, you were talking about the home you want in the future? Yeah, is that not weird? Is that weird to talk about this early? I mean, I don't know. It just came up in conversation.
You have no barometer for that.
I have nothing. So it kind of, I don't know, it almost snuck up on me like, oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. It's kind of downhill from there, right?
Yep. So if you can tell, we like sharing the story and just regaling of, how we met, and it's such a crazy time of life at the time because, like, for me, I had left a job that summer or in like June, and that summer was stressful on my body because I was putting my faith in God for a job that I didn't have yet. And I was putting things in storage, let my apartment lease go up, trying to find a teaching job. Finally got an offer for a job up in Fishers, Indiana, and the day I was going to go sign paperwork for that, I got a call from Michigan saying, hey, our first choice backed out. They really wanted me to begin with, but the upper administration wanted something else, and then it came back around to me. I was like, well, sure. So I got a little bit extra vacation time, and
yeah,
a week later I moved up to Portage. Just real crazy, and it was probably within that next, I want to say within the next week of moving to Portage is when I joined eHarmony and met you within a week or two.
Yeah. And then we met each other's families in October. So that was September. Met each other's families in October. I think I met your family first.
I think they might have taken us out like to Red Robin or something. And then the next month you came for the weekend, came home with me.
At the end of October, I think. Near the end?
I thought it was November because it was cold and it was a basketball game at college.
Yep. And that's when you had that conversation with your dad.
Yeah. Told my dad that I was going to marry her. He was happy.
Yeah.
He was like, well, we like her.
The whole 2-3 times we've met her.
Yep. No, there's something different about you, and something different in my heart too for preparing me for that stage of life, and finally understanding what it meant to respect women's boundaries and treat them as my sister in Christ. I don't know if that sounds cliche or not, but for my dating experience beforehand, even dating Christian women, they say one thing but mean another, and you meant what you would say, and she was just the one, gosh darn it.
Yeah. Well, and vice versa, and you passed the family test, which was a big one for me, because I have a special needs sister, and so Dan treated her respectfully. He didn't treat her like she was an idiot, which some people do. He didn't talk to her differently because she was special needs, just like, hey, how's it going? Like a normal person anyway. But just like everybody else. And I remember after that night in particular, I went back to my apartment and I just sobbed in front of my roommate because I was like, he passed the test, I can actually marry him, like this is it, and oh my goodness, and I can't believe, and and it was just yeah. Of course, she had already come to me like a week before that and was like, you can't marry him and move out of me. Every other roommate has done that to me in the past. And I was like, you don't, what, huh?
And then she met her current husband on eHarmony.
Yeah, she did. Like a week after we met.
Yeah. And
they got married a week before us. So funny. Anyway, yeah, so it all turned out good there on the eHarmony front. Yeah. But yeah, we got married. It was all good. I don't know where to end this because I just want to talk about it forever.
You just want to keep talking about it. When we started the episode, I asked Beth, I said, so is this going to be like a shorter episode? And she's like, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. So maybe we'll just end it here.
Yeah, we'll end it here.
If we'd love to share the story more with you guys. If anyone's ever interested, just hit us up, I guess.
Yeah. Can tell our engagement story sometime.
Yeah.
That's an entertaining one.
So, but like we said, we got married in June, but we met in September. And so that's why we celebrate our anniversary in September. And we do it the third weekend, like the third Saturday.
Yes.
There's at least one year where we didn't recreate it exactly.
Yeah.
But we can't do it exactly now because we don't eat Chipotle.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, we can.
We can. I hurt.
It's a salad.
We do the Big B, and then we go for a walk. And I know after we had Jane, our oldest, we took her in the stroller. She was like a month old, and we walked with her.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we need to make sure that we do the walk again and get something to eat and just kind of carry out that tradition of that date.
Yeah.
And I think too it'd be nice every year if we can to try and relive part of it, even as our girls get older.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's something nice there.
Except we do both show up at the same time now.
That's true. We've joked about driving in separate vehicles.
Just to really get it there. Of course, I might leave like 2 hours early because our children are small.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, hey, peace out. I'm going to go take some time to myself. Meet me up later for a date. Just kidding.
All right. We're going to stop here. Thanks again for listening. We appreciate it so very much.
Mm-hmm.
Next time, we're going to share about food. That's next on our list. Talk about our diet restrictions, my kind of history and background with ulcerative colitis, and talk about some of our favorite recipes. And we do have a couple of those recipes up on our website, on the blog.
Yep, all the links to them.
Yep, so the website is linked in the show notes, and you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Woodworker and Wife. If you have a question or you want to reach out, send us an email at woodworkerandwife@gmail.com. And if you're able to leave a review on your streaming service, we would appreciate a 5-star review. All right, thank you. Take care.